these stragglers getting into the next circle.
Wait.
Nading.
Kill them now.
Taken. Popping back. You're alone. I'm coming.
I'm pushing this.
Okay, be careful of the shim on top.
In front of me.
I'm with you.
Chill. There is a team.
I need to
Go back. This is Dutch. Go back. Can you?
Yep.
Yeah, I can.
Right, I need to cover you. Heal up, then come. Okay? Come back.
You have a medkit?
Yeah.
I do. Take.
Shoot this guy. Back. 3, 2.
Enemy here.
Yeah. That's V2's listen-ins. I know they're struggling a lot. Being on the other side of the overall leaderboards, I believe they're in 19th place. They're looking to secure as much KP as possible. They have 4 to their name right now, and with 8 other squads still alive in this lobby, they're trying to deny the opportunity to allow those squads like IG, Foot, Scars, Horizon for being able to rotate through these train tracks.
You bring up Scars. I'd be curious to see just how far they've made it as a duo in this lobby, because as they are contending right now to take down Alliance, and as I say a duo, we've lost Taishin in the process. It's Jarovic right now with that gold R301. Ooh, dual R301. Okay, I see you, but you gotta do what you can do and checking in with them. Alliance, a 3-stack, looking to reign their dominance at the top of this leaderboard, looking so clean, so healthy. Fallout, you knew they were gonna win. You're like, Alliance is gonna take the victory here, and you know, it's not me. I didn't say it. I didn't curse them. I'm looking at you on set. We're one and the same here.
Yeah, the curse lives on sometimes, but hopefully not this time around, with Alliance still maintaining all the points of aggression as well as the positioning in this next circle. They're looking great. They're looking as well. The squad that is on the train tracks, I believe that is LFO, who are looking to push on their advantage. But that's 4 different squads that are sharing the real estate on that bridge, and with the circle closing in, you could expect a lot of chaos. Aurora also in a very good position on the opposite side of Alliance. They managed to get this finish. They managed to finish off V2, and you can hear the Valkyrie swarming right above them, but Aurora aren't gonna let them get away. That's some pre-KP served on the silver platter for Aurora.
They didn't let anyone just get away. They took down Scars, so Maliwan gonna find the rat in itself of Jarovic, and now 4 squads remaining. Aurora holding a nice position here on the outskirts of the ring. Now, this is the moment where you just gotta play it a little bit safe, but can you force the other teams to fight, and then you come in at the very last moment? Or do you want to make a play, like you said early on, get that aggro, because you find yourself in 5th place. You need all of the KP that you possibly can get, and you have to take it away from Alliance, who has so much strength right here. 3 squads remaining. LFO forever eliminated. Now, this is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Horizon versus Aurora versus Alliance. Alliance and Aurora have the best positional advantage in this next circle right now. You can see the pings going down for Alliance with a squad to their right that they gotta be wary about, because that squad, the entryway into this next circle, could be right behind Alliance. They could sandwich this team, and Aurora could help them. You can see the off angles that they're taking right now with round 6 now closing in behind their backs. What is it gonna be here for Alliance? They need to make sure that they're not caught in the middle between Horizon and Aurora.
Well, this is going to be the tough spot, because you see Horizon just nestled down there, and it seems like Aurora is looking at Alliance, and everyone's kind of ignoring Horizon. And if Horizon doesn't take a lot of damage here, they're going to be the ones that like prefer to have the third party. But Yuki just going under fire right now, and everything's getting crazy. When you see the Mad Maggie Wrecking Ball come out, this is going to get crazy. Now, Alliance able to get a clean little reset, but Haki's very hyper aware that Horizon is down here and firing down onto Horizon now.
Horizon playing off the side. Here comes the EMP coming in as Horizon do get that first stock here for Alliance. I'm wondering if Aurora going to capitalize off of this. Can they be able to fully push in as Horizon now? This is the sandwich that I was worried about Alliance. Horizon going to capitalize now, fighting up against Aurora at the same time.
This is the punishment. They waited and bided their time. Now the question is, the knock comes in on Cleavy. Horizon closing the distance, but you're going to fall in the form of Seer. Can Arvin and Mimu keep the dream alive and maybe come out on top for this moment? They're doing everything that they need, but Yuki has something to say. Yuki comes in and says, bye, Aurora. Now they turn their sights onto Horizon, and this is the moment we've been waiting for. Mimu finding some clean shots in the back, just need to dust it out, and Horizon is your winners here in map number 6.
In the final game that they needed here too, they prevent Alliance from getting the 3-peat, okay? They already took game number 5. They already took an earlier game for game number 2. Enough is enough. You guys secure as much points as you can. Now it's our turn from Horizon to take the dub.
That was what I was nervous about, right? We saw kind of Horizon just nestled in there, and I was like, okay, well, if no one's going to focus them, they're going to come out on top. And you saw Hockeys. He was like, hey, we've got to take this fight on to Horizon before Aurora realizes that, look, we're all having difficulty saying Aurora.
Yeah, the evil stepchild, or the evil cousin, perhaps, of Team Aurora is Aurora. Nice job right there from Alliance, though. Honestly, Alliance got knocked early, so not the best endgame or circle for Alliance, but the fact that Yuki's able to survive and actually sneak out of second place, just even more to add to the already impressive resume that is Alliance today. 2 wins, a second place finish, and undoubtedly a first place overall finish on the day. Alliance dominates. But hey, let's start to get ready for the discussion here as we are getting ready to jump into what is going to be an insane final series standings and showdown. We don't know who's going to be in that second place spot. Something tells me it will be indeed Aurora, Vicky.
Yeah, I mean, you called Aurora out originally here, too. I know we talked about Vex Gaming at one point, but Alliance had an amazing day today. They needed that. Alliance Scars, the 2 teams that we really wanted to keep on our radar, had an amazing pop-off day, and I'm excited to see what the overall leaderboards are going to look like for us.
Yeah, we will find out as we're calculating those final standings, and we'll get them live for you here in just a second. We'll also have the highlights from game number 6 ready for you, and then, of course, our Monster MVP discussion, and we will be having a player interview. So a lot in store here for our post-game for EMEA. But first things first, it's time for the highlights. Game number 6, we talked about it. Which teams are going to step up and show up to secure that second, third, or fourth place finish? It was a 10 to 12 team race, and Game Ward again. We talked a lot about this team. We hyped them up a little bit. Not the best showing for the young rookies, the French squad, formerly Site de France. They get a few kills early on, but not a whole lot in the overall kills category, Vicky.
Yeah, surprisingly there too. I know they had some pretty good fights as Game Ward. You can see right now they're going to be able to not only take some of these fights, but they were ended pretty quick. VCN, another team that I had on my radar right now. Before that last game where they were probably having the best game that they've had so far, they were sitting in overall 14th, and they had a lot of great moments, such as Game of Drones, who also were able to take control and utilize that drone to control the choke points on the north side of the map, preventing the likes of Alliance from actually just easing their way into that next circle.
Yeah, this was just such a tough late rotation. You saw so many teams in the kill feed, including Fire Beavers, a team that was in contention but got taken out, I think, in 7th or 8th. But in the end, it was our final 7 teams. You had IG in the running. You ultimately had Aurora in the running. And then it came down to our final 3, Horizon, Alliance, and Aurora. And Yuki manages to survive and get a second place finish. Tiff, talk about this late in endgame circle.
Yeah, this is where things started to get a little bit interesting for a lot of these teams. Horizon found themselves nestled just down here, but it was Hockeys who made that call to go ahead and start pushing towards them. And I thought that was a really smart move for them. However, Aurora didn't double down and go and fight Horizon. They went ahead and full pushed Alliance, which I respect because that's the great call for them. And unfortunately, they still got eliminated and Horizon came out on top.
Yeah, and a 13-point game for Aurora should be enough to give them second place. We'll find out in a moment, but a massive performance for Horizon. The Finnish squad showing such a great outing in game number 6 and that they can bang with the best of them. A 23-point game. Alliance continues to do Alliance things today with a second place finish. LFO picking up some kills. V2 with quite a few kills, as well as VZN in 9th place on your screen. Let's take a look at the second page of the standings here before jumping to the overall results. Teams like Nightmare start a fight. Reply Totem, Element 6, Fire Beavers not able to get the points that they needed to give themselves a chance for top 3 overall, and in the end I think will fall, Vicky, in the overall standings.
Yeah, Nightmare not performing the way I expected for them to perform in that final game, but there was a lot of chaos, and the only double digits that we saw on that screen was from Horizon, the winners of that final game with 11 kills. But looking at the second half, though, there were some teams like Vex Gaming, Corpo that I was expecting to pop off, even Navi down there all the way in the bottom that were caught in the middle of the rotation.
That's right. That's how the cookie's going to crumble here for day number 3. In the end, the overall standings, Horizon does it by 1 point. Are you kidding me? We said it's going to be a tense multi-team race for second. And in the end, we have 3 teams within 1 point. And Aurora, 1 point behind, gets 4th behind Scars and Horizon. Congrats to Horizon for the pop-off 23-point game. Wow, what a finish here, Tiff.
What a finish it was. And it was really great to see Alliance kind of separate themselves from that. It was about a 28-point gap that they garnered over second place. So sure, the fight was for second, third, fourth. That reigned super close. So you can just see those moments where Alliance was able to get a lot of those placement points for the most victories. That saved them. That put the distance on them.
Yeah, massive performance, obviously, on the day for Alliance, but congrats to Horizon as well. Let's take a look at our overall kill leaderboard, though, and it's going to be Vex. So take a look. Vex, not even in the top 5 in standings, but first and third in kill leaderboards, and they were talking about it. They were touting on Twitter, Tyler FPS, the MVP right now, most kills in EMEA. It's not going to mean a whole lot if you can't get placement points, Vicky.
Yeah, Lucky out here with 15 KP to his name. Vex Gaming, they had their pop-off moments throughout the day in this lobby, but specifically with how heavy they were on maintaining the KP throughout the different games. Even if they didn't take a dub, they still were able to get that KP from Unlucky. Tyler FPS right behind them there too.
That's right. Vex frags out, but not necessarily able to get the Pro League points that they needed. Mandy, though, with Alliance in 6th. And that is surprising to see only one member of Alliance in the top 10 in kill leaderboards, despite their domination on the day, Tiff. A really interesting stat point. Just because you get kills doesn't mean you're the best team in Apex. Placement may be more important than kills.
I just think it's that happy medium, right? You got to make it to end game, and you've got to have the eliminations to couple with it. And you can just see right then and there, Vex Gaming, they know how to frag. They know how to be absolute menaces in their 3v3 micro fights. The question is, how do you improve the macro and making sure you're getting to that end game? Do you just go away from playing that aggressive edge and maybe just try out zone for a little bit? You won't get as many frags, which is probably the funnest part of it for them, I'm sure. But if you can couple that with the placement points, that's how you succeed.
That's a great point. Alliance doing a good job of playing that hybrid role of placement plus kills. Obviously, the back-to-back 2-time wins did not hurt them by any means. But hey, we could talk about team performances. Team performance is obviously incredibly important in the overall standings, which we've shown today. But it's time for an individual discussion. Who was the best performer for your Monster MVP as we get ready to bring Spider, Tiff, and Vicky into the conversation here for Monster MVP of the day in their eyes. Tiff, starting with you. Who do you think took it? Who do you think is your MVP on the day?
Well, I think it's going to have to come from a team that has found themselves at the top of the leaderboard with 30 eliminations for the day. I'm going Mandy. You know Vicky Kitty's going to be absolutely pumped if she can get her hands on that clip of Mandy with the bow check bow. But everything that this team has done together has just been so amazing today. And Mandy, a sub for this team, for a fact at this point. And I think just finally finding that synergy, it only took them a little bit of time, but they found it under the leadership of that IGL Hockeys. This is who I'm vying for. It's Mandy. It's Legolas. And look at that nastiness with the bow check bow. How could you argue?
And to be honest, he kind of looks like Legolas as well, Vicky.
Yeah, I literally saw those shots land and I said, if that was me, I would literally be crying on the other side. And I have to give props, obviously, to Mandy for popping off. But my other MVP that I've had my eyes on, it's got to be from Vex Gaming. It's got to be Unlucky. I know he fragged out. I know he got the KP. I know Vex Gaming didn't get all the points that they wanted for placement points. But I also love getting the KP necessary to make sure that your individual skill is also really shown out here. Vex Gaming doing a really good job, both on Stormpoint and on World's Edge. Obviously, they need to maintain that consistency going through the 2 maps, but I have to give it to Unlucky. Not only with the repositioning abilities that he performed with the Valkyrie and with the Horizon, kind of rotating around that with Tyler, but also the way that the comps are flowing through Vex Gaming. You could see the one-on-one. I gotta restabilize. You go and you can take control real quick while I reset with the shield bat real quick here too. Vex Gaming's comps go crazy, but I have to highlight Unlucky's technical skill.
Yeah, Unlucky, the young Austrian, dominating. 17 years old, by the way, and the kill leader on the lobby today. He's been such a force to be reckoned with in EMEA. And yeah, I respect that. Vicky, obviously, tell 2 tales, right? For Mandy, it was his ability to play well with the team and Alliance's overall team performance. For Unlucky, he just played like a monster himself individually. and obviously, it's a tough one. But for me, it's between Mandy and Yuki, personally. I got to give a lot of respect to Yuki, what he was able to accomplish. Those plays made the difference in the end. Yuki was playing out of his mind. And then, of course, there's a great argument to be said about Hockeys. Hockeys in his IGLing, his overall individual performances as well as his team performance and the role he plays for the team controlling their macro. But hey, a great discussion nonetheless. Let us know your thoughts in the chat and who you think your Monster MVP was. This has been the Monster MVP segment. Great discussion as always. And as we get ready to welcome one very special person for an interview, you already know we had to bring none other than the IGL of Alliance, Hockeys, live with us for an interview. First things first, congratulations on the win. Hockeys, I'm sure you're feeling on top of the world right now. A lot of discussion this week on the best IGLs in Apex Legends. That's how I'm going to start. I want to ask your thoughts. You obviously had some great insights there and who you think are the best IGLs. Where do you think you rank in the overall list?
Number 8. That's what I got at champs. I think that's how you get to rank it at the moment. Like nothing else than LAN matters, in my opinion. That's where you have to perform. That's where the money is. That's where the competition is, like at least worldwide. So I think that's where you got to look until the next one, you know?
I respect the humility with that logic. 0 on top. Tiff, what you got for him?
Look, I just saw the dog. Hakis, I just saw your dog, and I feel like you are amazing at what you do and so talented. But can we get an up close view? Can you bring the chair over? Will the little boy stay in his chair? I just need it.
Oh my God.
His duo.
The duo.
That's his duo. The
Alongside
real
him.
coach. The coach right behind Alliance, giving the comms over to Hakis out here, letting him know what he's got to do for rotates. Oh, what a good boy. You have that amazing support.
I love that. I love that so much. But no, for my real question, let's go ahead and talk about it. What was going through your head in that moment? Mandy's last alive, just south of Thunderwatch in that end game against Scars. How do you coach someone through that moment? Do you kind of actively tell them, or do you give them a little bit of free reign to live their life?
I mean, you try to help them as much as possible without taking over completely. I think that's the biggest thing. We kind of coached them to go for second first, but then we saw that they started fighting, and we were like, you just go for the win. Sadly, we kind of canceled it, and we got third in the end. But nobody remembers second place, so it's more fun to go for first.
That's so true. I really like that question from Tiff, because it's important to allow your teammates to also feel themselves a lot, get that confidence when it comes to the late game too. And I want to highlight, what was the difference between going into this day versus the first day that you played in the ALGS? Because Alliance really did turn around. You guys had amazing performance compared to your first day. Was there anything different that you guys approached going into day number 3 of EMEA, without revealing too much of your strategy, of course?
No, we just entered it like we usually do. The biggest thing was just changing from GB to Horizon. I feel like Mandy, after the first week, he got pretty confident in it. He realized that GB wasn't no longer that much meta, and we had to just YOLO the Horizon, even though he has no practice on it. So getting first place for literally playing Horizon for the 3rd time is pretty good.
Insane. One small adjustment, crazy how much of a difference it makes. Last question I want to ask you, Hakis. Obviously, a lot going on with your team right now. Vice, being substituted for Mandy, and a lot of, reps in with effects, et cetera, et cetera. After a first place finish with Mandy, can you maybe settle the score and some of the discussion happening about the future of the Alliance roster? The full Alliance roster going into day number 3 will be what?
Gotta wait and see.
Oh, he's going to leave us hanging.
Oh.
I tried, friends. Listen,
Okay.
I tried. Everyone in the chat, the Apex community, I tried my best. I thought we could get it out of him. But the man is cold as ice. He's going to keep us guessing what the roster is going to be. We will find out. But it's been crazy to see you guys perform with Mandy. It's been fun to watch. Obviously, a big personality, a big name, a big brand, and he's been performing. Any final thoughts or shout-outs, Hakis, before we let you go?
Shout out to all our sponsors. Shout out to my family. Shout out to Pontus, who's sitting next to me, my manager. Shout out to my teammates, Yuki and Mandy. And yeah, Mandy, third time playing Horizon, the super sub. Absolute huge shout out to him as well.
Respect given to Mandy. He said, my teammates, Yuki and Mandy, that confirms that he's playing with Mandy next week. No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations to you, Hakis, and the Alliance squad. Shout out to Chef Pontus as well, and the Alliance organization, the co-CEOs of Alliance. Remarkable people showing a lot of support for Apex Legends. We appreciate you. Show some love to Alliance and Hakis. You're winners of day number 3 for EMEA here. We will say goodbye to Hakis. Thanks again for your time, my friend. Much appreciated as always. A lot to talk through here. Obviously, the future of the Alliance roster is what? But a couple other storylines here. Scars showed some good things today. We obviously saw Aurora continue to perform and impress with this off-meta team. Despite their efforts, though, only a 4th place finish. Easily could have been 2nd if they just got 2 more kill points overall. But Vicky, as we start to wrap up, your final thoughts on kind of big stories that you saw today. What stood out?
Horizon, it goes crazy. That's what I picked up off of Hakis' interview. But, storyline-wise, I'm really excited to see the future of Alliance and their squad going forward within the rest of the EMEA region. We note that this team has consistently been on top, consistently been a top 3 EMEA squad. Now, can they bring that through the rest of this first split of year 3 of the ALGS, so that way they don't wander off too far like we saw last year?
Tiff, how about you? Any final thoughts?
Well, I guess I'll pull it from Hakis' interview as well. Sub buff go crazy. We saw Rambo on Leon subbing in for GMT Esports, kind of popping off as well. Dark Zero performing with a sub. So maybe the answer is just finding a sub and just fragging out, because it was so insane to see. So congrats to Alliance for coming out on top.
I love it. Well, great job as always to the two of you casting. Tiff, your debut as an ALGS caster, you absolutely crushed it. Throw some love in the chat for Spider Tiff, my friends. Drop her a follow on Twitter as well. Vicky Kitty, Tiff, great job as always. As we say goodbye, we'll see you back for the North American show here in a little bit. But as the day wraps up today, What a day it was for EMEA. Coming up, we have our North American broadcast just in a few hours. You will not want to miss it. FaZe Clan, will they continue their performance? We'll see them alongside TSM, Furia, so many other top teams in the action. Optic Gaming as well. Not the start that they would have wanted in week number 1. We will see if those teams and more can step up and perform as we get ready for the North American broadcast. Well, for EMEA today, interesting display of events. Alliance back on top, and really, it's a question mark. That's the storyline. The macro story for EMEA is we don't know which team is the top team, whereas in North America, it's very clear who your different top tiers of teams are. In the S tier, you have a couple of teams, obviously, at the top, NRG and a few others. In the A tier and the B tier, it's clear that SSG, Optic, Team Liquid, and so many more are performing. In EMEA, it's a question mark. It's a roll of the dice. That just goes to speak to how much depth we have as a region in EMEA. Today, it was Alliance. Last week, it was the Kansas City Pioneers. We will find out as those two teams will continue to play each other in the Pro League in the following weeks as well. What a day it was for the EMEA broadcast. We hope you enjoyed the action at home. We have the North American broadcast coming up next. As we mentioned, so many top teams and heavy hitters. Don't go anywhere. Maybe take a little bit of a break, take a breather, come back in an hour. We got North America, the ALGS Pro League ready for you after this break.